we're going to go ahead and go into the sixth tip. And I think this is the most important one, if I'm going to be honest. But build a website or a web page. I cannot stress enough how many people I come across that they're some type of freelancer. I'm a photographer, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a video editor, and they don't have a website or web page. It's very hard for me to take you seriously if you don't have a media representation of yourself, which is becoming an industry standard. And no Instagram, Facebook, none of these social medias count as a website. Now, they can be leveraged to extend like your social credibility and also a means of communication, but they are not websites. On top of this, if you piss them off for whatever reason, they can give you the boot off their platform, and then you'll be left with nothing. A website or web page is critical if you're going to take your freelancing business to the next level. I'm not saying you have to start out with it. I recommend that you do. But if you can't for some reason, I would give myself a time limit of 3 to 6 months. Within this time frame, I need to have a website. And I'm going to be honest, but if you want to graduate to these higher tier clients or these contracts that are longer, like these 6 month contracts, that you're just on retainer as a company's freelancer doing that service, you're not going to get these clients without a website because they're not going to think that you're established. You're going to be risky. You don't have that professional outlook that's going to inspire confidence in them hiring you. I'm not saying you have to build a website yourself. You can outsource this. Go to Fiverr or Upwork.com as a customer and have someone build a site for you. But there are plenty of platforms you can use for this. Wix is one of them. Squarespace is one of them. You can use WordPress. That is a little more in the intermediate territory. So you probably want to have some experience designing websites. You're going to do WordPress. But if you want something beginner friendly, Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, those are three platforms that are great to use. And to be honest, if you're just offering like one service, I would actually recommend a web page. A web page is what it describes. It's basically just a single page that has all the information the client needs to book your services. Now, I recommend in this place in this web page, you have a FAQ section because you're gonna come across some rebuttals or questions about like how things work. Each time you get a question, update your FAQ section and answer that question. What this is doing is putting less steps to someone booking your service because they may have a doubt in their mind about a question, and then they need to contact you in order to answer that question. Well, then they got to find a time to do it, which there's a chance some people aren't going to do that, and then they contact you, and then you answer the question like, okay, then I'll do it then. And by the time all that happens, you'll probably lose like half the people that would have booked. If the question is answered right in front of them, they're just, oh, well, my concerns have been alleviated. Oh, here's a place to book. They book, problem solved, and you've got a client. So make sure you have an FAQ section on that web page. Give an accurate description of your service, what you provide, and just any question that a person may have. Make sure it's answered on that page. I recommend you have a nice, smiling picture of yourself because it gives a very personal touch that you're, and this is actually something that a freelancers can use to their advantage, that you're a person and not so much just some like lifeless corporation that they're doing business with. Makes it more personal and it will actually help with referrals. We'll talk about that later down the line. But yeah, with corporations, they don't have the best rep nowadays. So people are actually pretty open to working with a freelancer as long as they have the set experience. So the key takeaway is to have a website or a web page. If you do offer multiple services, I would say more than three, then a website is probably the more better way to go. And I've got to mention this, but on the web page, if you go with a web page, make sure you have a professional email on there that they can use to reach out to you. And I would put my phone number too, but it, technically it's optional. But if you have a phone number, you are going to get more clients. A lot of people prefer to just talk to someone on the phone about what kind of questions they have. So if you're serious about this, I would put my phone number on there. It doesn't have to be a personal number. You can get a business number on Google Voice, and that can be used just for business if you don't want to give a personal number. But I would have it on there. Now, this was touched on partially. in the last tip, but it still is a tip in itself. This is the 8th tip, which is to make referrals easy. I recommend you have some kind of referral program. I think a lot of freelancers are dropping the ball on this. They just get started and then they just start offering their services. But if you incentivize people to actually send people your way, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. They're gonna do it. Seriously. If they're incentivized to, and people in general like to run their mouths about good things, so as long as you're good at your trade, you're probably gonna come up in the conversation anyway. If you just give them that extra nudge just to keep talking about you, then guess what? You find yourself getting called or whatever form of contact that you want. You find yourself with leads to get more clients. So these are the best kind of leads when they come to you, because that means their interest level is extremely high in hiring you for said service. The key to making a referral program easy is just to make what they're going to get upfront and known. So if probably the easiest thing that you could do, if it's a reoccurring service, just offer some kind of discount on the client's next service. Like, hey, if you refer a friend, you get a 5% discount on your next deal with me. That's the easiest way. You could do like a cash referral system, like $5, $10, $15. I'll make sure that that's predicated upon like a sale actually going through. So if you're a consultant, for instance, and you charge $125 per hour, and someone refers someone to you, you send them an extra $10 or $15. That's not all that bad, because you're making like $110 and you're sending them like $15 of it. So you're incentivizing people to send people your way. Just make the referral system easy on their side so they can see what they're going to get from it. You tune into everyone's favorite network, WIIFM, what's in it for me, and they're going to send people your way. In fact, this kind of piggybacks off of tip number 6, which is to have a website, a web page, because if you have this set up, a person has something that they can share with their friend about you. See, people tend to not want to have to sell you to them, because that's tiring in people's eyes. Like, they may talk about your service, their friend asks, oh, well, how much do they charge? What's their refund policy? How about this and how about that? And they didn't, it's like, I didn't sign up for all these questions, whatever, just I'm just going to stop. But if there's a web page they can send them to, oh, just check out their web page. They check out the web page. Before you know it, they contact you like, hey, my friend told me about you and I'm interested and I'm hiring you to audit my records as an accountant or something. Like, that webpage goes a long way, and it's a great combined tip with tip number 8, which is making referrals easy. See, this is the stuff that takes you to the next level, and it keeps you swamped around the clock. You can handle as many clients as you can, and then outsource the ones that you can't handle to someone else and get a referral fee off of it. You see how the monies are starting to stack up? Can someone say I'm a hustler, baby? What's up, everyone? The video you just watched is actually a clip or portion of another episode from the Side Hustler Society podcast. You can check out the full episode by clicking on the link in the description or by clicking on the video that's popping up on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified next time an episode drops. And give this video a thumbs up. It's very much appreciated. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.